We are back, and we are laying down the law 2015.
Rocking that jungle boogie.
No doubt, cool in the gang. And what do you need to beat some Lions? Some jungle boogie, son.
There you go, baby.
And I need to take Drew Pearson back to when he was split wide left or right, and he was putting playoff wins in the pockets of the Dallas Cowboys along with his teammates and
One of
fans.
my favorite of all times.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Pearson.
That's right. So we welcome you now. We are, by our clock, 15 seconds from 9:18. So we have to go, without further ado, to the original 88. And we are now officially between the eights, playoff style, with Drew Pearson.
You guys are fired up this morning.
Oh, man, yes, we are.
Man,
Yes, sir. Yes,
you're
sir.
not playing today, are you?
Hey, I'll suit up.
He won't play, but
Look, hey, they will not. I can guarantee they will not put me in. They will not put me in. I can guarantee you that.
They will not put Chico
Well,
in.
if we do have to resort to that, we're in trouble, right, Blake?
Yeah. Well, no,
You know-
this is Chico, Lieutenant Governor AAU. Blake's out sick today.
Blake, the weather.
You sound just like Blake, man. I swear.
Well, he's a
You
smooth.
ain't impersonating him around town, are you?
Well, he's a smooth brother because if we sound alike, then he's smooth.
You're both smooth, amen.
the weather. I understand that he is a scratch because of the weather, Drew. But he, along with us, say Happy New Year, and we wanted to say we can digress just a moment. Back into 2014, we recognized that it was the 39th anniversary of the Hail Mary play. A couple weeks ago. Tell us about that play against the Minnesota Vikings as you and Roger Staubach hooked up for a play now that is known in NFL lore, and everybody uses the term for a last second-ditched pass for a touchdown called Hail Mary.
Yeah, it's actually a big part of sports vernacular now. I've been hearing it all weekend with the college bowl games and even the playoff games yesterday. Talking about everybody, they need a Hail Mary to win and that type of thing. And it's really crossed over, the phrase has really crossed over into the business world, the personal lives, the charitable lives, the religious lives. And people have Hail Mary moments in their lives where it looks like all is lost and your back's to the wall. And for some reason, we're able to overcome that. Whether it's the rent or the heat was turned off, we got to get it turned on. The car broke down, the kid needs braces, college tuition is due. In those personal lives, we have those kind of situations, and for some reason, as people, we overcome them, and we catch a Hail Mary. We just didn't know what to call it. On that day, on December 28th, 1975, 39 years ago. Next year it's the 40th anniversary, and hopefully, I don't know if the Cowboys will embrace that, but I surely will.
We will, Drew. We'll
You'll
work
be
with
hearing
you.
stuff about that. But, Roger, 2 plays before the Hail Mary, we had a 4th and 16 where Roger hit me for 22 yards on a first down on a post corner route. And we run the next play. We have no timeouts. Preston Pearson, we run a swing pass to him. He drops the ball, which turned out to be a blessing in disguise because it stopped the clock. We get back in the huddle. Roger says, we got to take some shots, 23 seconds, no timeouts. And Roger said, last year you ran on Thanksgiving Day a turn-in takeoff. Run that same route, turn-in takeoff on Nate Wright's side. And the only other guy he told to go out on the play was Golden Richards. And he wanted to have Golden run a post pattern to hold Paul Krause, who just happens to be the all-time interception leader in NFL history on that side of the field. So Roger pumped Golden. I'm coming downfield. I close the gap on Nate, run that turn-in takeoff, give him the stutter move, a couple steps on the in route, then take it deep. And when I came out of that, he was even with me. And I figured I'd had another gear to shift into once I look back and see that ball's thrown out and hopefully catch it in the end zone, the back of the end zone type thing. But when I looked back, I saw that the ball was underthrown, came back, did that swim move to get the inside position. There was contact with Nate Wright. Of course, this is football, but there was no deliberate push. Nate Wright went down. The ball hit my hands, slithered through my hands and stuck between my elbow and my hip, and I backed into the end zone from the 5-yard line, and that was the touchdown, 17-14 Dallas. We win it and go to L.A. next week and annihilate the Rams, and then go to play the Pittsburgh Steelers in Super Bowl X, being the first wild card team to take that route to the Super Bowl. So after the game, no one's talking to me. I'm picking out my big fro, no problem. You know, everybody's over at Staubach's locker asking him what happened. And Roger said a few things, and he finally said, I threw the ball as far as I could, and I closed my eyes, and I said a Hail Mary. And then the headlines in Dallas paper the next day, Cowboys win by a Hail Mary. And then it just took off from there.
Yes.
And that's how it started. I spoke to for the Heart of Dallas Bowl here, Randy White and I spoke to the Louisiana Tech and University of Illinois football teams, and they had no idea. They knew what a Hail Mary was, but they had no idea the origin of that. And you should have saw those kids' eyes and the intent in their eyes and the attention they were paying to the story I just told you about how the Hail Mary was originated. And so now they know. Now they know.
Well, I knew. I saw it. I was a little kid with a fro, too.
Hey, I'm going to tell you, I had the original J5.
We used to watch. Do you remember the cartoon with the Jackson 5 with the snake?
Yeah.
You know, we were watching that. You were doing what you needed to do, and I just wanted people to know that we didn't get an opportunity to talk about that on the last show, to give us some history, just like we did the Thriller and Filler. So we certainly appreciate the history and nostalgia that you bring to our show. And we fast forward now. There's another 88 that is playing as well as you have in years past, and we'd love to see the third 88 receive Super Bowl rings like you and Michael Irvin.
Yeah, that's the legacy. You know, that's what we talk about. You know, here in Dallas paper this morning. You know, talk about Tony Romo and what's important to him now. You know, he has everything. You know, he's got all the money in the world. He's got the beautiful wife, 2 beautiful kids. He's blessed there. There's nothing else Tony Romo needs in his life but a Super Bowl victory. And the same thing with Dez and Whitney and the rest of the guys. You know, what validates all this hard work and all these great performances that they've been having all season long is a Super Bowl championship. And I think these guys understand that, and they're on the right track, and they're focused in that kind of direction. And Dez has really stepped up his game, not only on the field but off the field. He's a leader in that locker room. You listen to his comments in his post-game, pre-game, and all during the week interviews. He's matured. He's got his head on straight, and it reflects to his play out there on the football field. So we got a lot of things in place, and we went through a lot to get to this point. Even the 3 8-8 seasons consecutively in a row, you know, that's part of the learning process that Garrett's been stressing. And now it looks like it's starting to pay off, because these guys have learned not only how to win, but what it takes to win. The will to win is important, but the will to prepare, Bobby Knight quote, is even more important. And these guys understand that, and that's what we're seeing now with this football team. And, you know, a lot of things are falling into place. Look at the injury situation. I was watching the game in Pittsburgh and
Baltimore.
Baltimore had 18 guys on injury reserve this year, you know. And, you know, so we haven't been going through that. Yeah, we had nicks and bruises and people held out here and there, but not for the long haul. And it looks like everybody's going to be ready as we get rolling. So anyway, the team's at a good point. Dez is at a great point. You know, you talk about what Michael did and what Dez is doing. I mean, what Dez is doing is phenomenal. 16 touchdown catches. That's amazing. And, you know, even the great Bob Hayes, when he first came into the league with all his speed and they didn't know how to cover him. And his first year he had 13 touchdowns. His second year he had 12 touchdowns, 25 touchdowns in 2 seasons. And that's pretty remarkable what he did, and that led him right into the Hall of Fame. So to have a season like Dez had with 16 catches for touchdowns is just pretty amazing. He and Antonio Brown with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I saw that they were elected on the All-Pro team by the Associated Press, and they got it right because those are the two best wide receivers in the National Football League this season.
We're talking with Drew Pearson. We're between the eights. And this afternoon's game against the Detroit Lions, the last time that the Lions were in AT&T Stadium, it was a shootout won by the Lions. I think this game, more pressure put on Matthew Stafford by the defense. And even though they have Megatron and Golden Tate, I still believe this defense is ready. I think it's a different defense under Rod Marinelli.
Oh, absolutely. The attitude, the effort, the hustle, that makes it different. Then you add the knowledge of Marinelli and what he brings as far as his abilities and his experience, and you take the strengths of each player and avoid their weaknesses. And that's what he does. He plays to the strengths of each player, and it's paying off. Puts those players in the right position to be successful. And then you add the ingredients of hustle, emotion, determination, all that. Then you got a pretty good defense. Is it the best defense in the National Football League? No. But they play like they're the best defense, and they bring it each and every play. And the identity of the Cowboys has changed in the last 3 or 4 years. We're now a physical football team. Our offensive line could stand up to this Detroit Lion defensive line, who is known to be physical, and the number one rush defense in the National Football League. So, and we're not afraid of them. We'll stand up to them. I know Sue's going to try to hit Martin in the mouth early in the game and try to be physical with him, but he's going to get frustrated because guess what? Zach Martin ain't going nowhere. And that's the attitude of this football team. They're just a very physical football team now. And the defense kind of sets that tone a little bit, too, because you see those guys flying around the field. When you see a ball carrier carrying that ball, you see 5 or 6, 7 Cowboy jerseys emerge on that ball carrier. When the receiver catches the ball downfield, you see the same thing. And these guys are playing that way, and when you play that way, you got a chance.
We're talking with Drew Pearson between the eights, and I love it. I mean, we plan on being back next week for more playoff between the eights. What's your score prediction, Drew Pearson, given all that we have said and talked about today?
Yeah, we got to stop Kellen Johnson. We got to hold down the first down for them, get them off the field. We got to win the war in the trenches, and we got to come up with some big plays because we're not going to be able to pound it all game long. We're going to have to take advantage of them stacking the box and hitting Dez on a big play. Cowboys win this game 31-28. 31-28. Matthew Stafford can't come back here again and beat Dallas Cowboys in his hometown.
Yeah, so he is from Highland Park, and he did
Highland
play
Park, and he's used to playing in Cowboy Stadium. He's probably got more games in Cowboy Stadium than some Cowboys.
Right.
Counting his high school career and maybe some of his college career. So,
hey, Drew,
anyway,
I'm smiling at you. I'm smiling because before I got my score 31-21. So I'm wondering who's gonna be correct. We'll both take the 31. And the win.
Yeah, we'll take the 31. We're averaging 30 points a game almost, man.
Really?
Yeah, this offense is rolling, and I don't see Detroit, shutting it down. They might do some things that, bog down the running game a little bit, but when we stick it in there and pull it out, and Romo's hitting Beasley and Williams and Witten and Dez downfield, I think we can put up the points on their defense.
Yeah, and use the receivers, Randall and DeMarco, as such.
Right,
get those swing passes out and put the mismatch against the linebackers, which then opens the middle of the field for guys like Cole Beasley and Witten. The Dez will take care of himself. He will beat his man. That is no issue. But when you got to zone it up and then you let Dez run wild, I don't know how you lose this game.
Yeah, well, if they put 2 on Dez, that's going to be they're going to pay for that.
Yeah, not smart.
They're for sure. I don't know if that's smart or not. I would take my chances with Dez, man-to-man type thing, and not let everybody be exposed or anybody else be exposed. I don't think you.
I would never put a guy man to man on any 88 from the Dallas Cowboys. I'm just going to tell you that right now. I've been on it for a while, and you get us about this Princeton stuff. Well, I can tell you, if you go man to man against Drew Pearson, Michael Irvin, and Dez Bryant, you defensive coordinator and D-backs coach are a fool.
What my son did in '88. Dez is my grandson, so
exactly.
We roll it, man. I'm the old man, Michael's the son, and Dez is the grandson.
That's exactly right. Well, I'd love to see a picture of the three of you.
Oh man, that would be awesome.
That would be something to really cherish if you're a Cowboys fan. Drew, maybe when I get up there, we get a chance to get the three of y'all together or something like that in the stadium. But that'd be a heck of a picture. That'd be a great photo for a fundraiser too. It's just unbelievable. Well, listen, thank you so much. And, again, you can follow Drew at 88 Drew Pearson on Twitter. And, I know you're active and certainly appreciate all the retweets and the interaction that you have with us as individuals in the show. And Happy New Year to you, sir, and look forward to seeing you in person pretty soon.
All right, you got it, guys. Thanks for having me, and go Cowboys.
Absolutely. We're going to take a sidebar. We're going to come back. Sal, I know you want to talk to us from the Big Apple, son. I see you. But we're going to come back with Julie Bueller and talk more NFL playoffs. Stay with us. 2015 in full effect right here on Laying Down the Law.